Hi. Um, Happy Thanksgiving week to those who celebrate. So like not me, but it's Thanksgiving break, so hi. I wanted to do something different today, and I was talking to my best friend, and she was like, I know I never appear on makeup with makeup on this channel because I usually record my videos at night, but she was like, "Oh my god, gutter." um how do you do your makeup? So, YouTube video about that. So, this is the makeup that I usually do for school days. Um, or I kind of don't want to look like I have too much makeup on. So, this is my little Snoopy headband. However, I will attempt something new today, which is using a cushion foundation as a concealer, just to get more coverage. So, let's do this. So I like to start my routine with a good primer. I like to use this this e.l.f. one primer. Yeah, you know this one. And this one is the one with niacinamide. I don't know, because it sounds fancy and I like that. So I don't usually do a lot because it's not going to be like covering my whole face, but I just like to put that on there, you know? So I just put that on and I wait for it to dry. But I think I don't use a lot of products in my day-to-day life. I have this pouch which is just for like makeup for special events that I don't usually use, but usually I use like 5-ish things, and most of it I got it for free because like my mom gives it to me, or I steal it from my sister. If my sister is watching this, I'm sorry. I love you, but also you're 11, you don't need makeup. So, okay. This is taking a little bit to dry. I don't know what I should talk about while maybe, I don't know. Let me just start. So, I am going to start by taking a little bit of the cushion foundation. I got my little mirror here. It's not the second coming of Christ, it's just a mirror. And just applying it to my under eyes, because my eye bags are really bad. It's just like genetic. So I need something with a lot of coverage in there. And also just like this ugly thing on top. So I'm just gonna use this as a base and not as a concealer in the slightest. But I'm also going to take a higher coverage concealer. I don't know what brand this is, it doesn't say. I just got it from my mom and it was coincidentally like a really good shade for color correction. So I just put a little bit on there. Now I just take my blender and I just blend it out. Never drag the product, just tap it. And now, this is something that I learned from a TikTok makeup tutorial that I think is very good. I don't remember who it was from, but you take powder, the slightest bit of powder. I use this Huda Beauty Ube birthday cake powder, and I'm going to put the slightest amount, the smallest amount in the areas that are looking very orangey, just so it doesn't move around. And yeah, just a little bit, just so it doesn't move around. So now I can actually start. I'm going to take my Maybelline eraser, mid coverage concealer, and then I'm actually gonna start to like actually apply it to the places where I usually would. I like to do my eyelids also because my eyes are very heavily set and they just look great if I don't. So, and yeah, you know the drill. Blend it out. That's kind of crazy standard procedure. Yay! So if you're using a liquid foundation, this is when you would put it on, but I use a stick foundation and a powder foundation, so I usually put it either this powder and then the powder foundation and then the powder blush, or powder and then the blush. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm going to take some powder and just set my concealer in place. I think I've been getting more pale because my concealer is starting to look more orange on my skin, and I hate it. Because, you know, who wants to look orange in this political climate? But yeah, there's not a lot I can do except wait until I can go to, wait until this one ends and I can get another one. Or just color correct and spend 30 hours doing it. So I like getting my first blush, which is this Milk Makeup blush that I stole from my sister. I love you, Bia. Mwah. In the shade Work. And my cheekbones, I don't know if they're high or if they're really low. I think they're high, but I like putting it a little bit lower than I usually would, because then I put the actual blush, the powder blush, a little bit higher. So I'm gonna take my, I'm not like a professional makeup person, obviously. But you know, my friends do ask me to do their makeup for events and stuff, especially when I used to wear eyeliner every day. So I don't know. That's my CV. That's my resume. So okay, I'm going to take my blush, and I bet you feel really stupid now because it's not even a blush. It's eyeshadow that I have had from my mom. This was like one of my first makeup things ever that I got from my mom in like 2018, and I've been using it, and I use so little of it, it's still like not even half pan because it's so pigmented. So I just take a little bit and I put it more over the eye region, and always go up to your temples. Like I never put it like just here. It's common sense. And don't know, I always have issues knowing if people think I'm talking down to them or if I'm just like not explaining things. It's hard to find a balance between those two. So okay, you can have a little bit of blush blindness in this step. Who cares anymore? The sun's gonna explode. Who are you? Who are you to not put enough blush on? Maybe I should make the lighting less dramatic in the middle of the video. Maybe I should do that. So okay. What to do now? I take my little eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay, Naked Sin, kind of a freaky name. I take kind of a fluffy brush, and I take this shade, the shade Boring, and I just apply it all over. And I take a smaller brush, and I take a darker brown shade, and I put it closer to my lash line to kind of create that depth. Like I usually put it here very close to the lash line and then going up just a little bit on this outside corner. Just to give a little bit more depth. And this is something that I've begun doing lately ever since I got this Kaja like little makeup stack, but it has an even darker shade of brown. So I just use that to go even closer to my lash line, just creating that gradient. I feel like black eyeshadow looks bad on me, but I still try to go for that like grungy look. So this is what I came up with to do that. When I want to go for a more innocent look, I just take white eyeshadow and I put it just a little bit. It makes you look angelic. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm going to take glitter, sparkly shade, very important. And I'm just going to put that in the in the corner and in just the beginning of that inner corner going into, I forgot what these are called. Eyelids. They're called eyelids. And just start of your eyelids, kind of fanning out into the middle. If you don't want it to look thick with glitter, you can use a highlighter for this. One that I really like using is the Buttermelt highlighter from NYX. I rubbed off the logo so you can't see, but it's really good. It's really sparkly, and you don't use a lot of product, so it lasts forever. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my eyeliner brush, which is a game changer, and I'm going to take a black eye pencil, and I'm going to go just as close to my lash line as I possibly can and smudge it out a little bit, but also take the eyeliner brush and begin to form your wing. Now, it takes a long time to find out what wing shape is gonna look best for you. Believe me, I used to have Amy Winehouse like wing eyeliner, and it looked bad on me, and I had it for years. So I like doing it with the eye pencil first because it just creates a little silhouette of where it's gonna be, so you can just, like, if you don't like it, you can go back, you know, kind of get a shape that looks good on you. Usually when my eyebrows are longer, try to go for like the end of your eyebrow if you want that little perky look, but you know, it's very trial and error. And I just repeat that for my other eye also. In the distance are fireworks, okay? I live in, okay, I live in, I'm safe. I'm safe. It's not, it's Disney, man. I hate it. I hate it here. People don't talk about how much Florida sucks. You can't go anywhere without having to spend money. So there's like no real third spaces, and it sucks a lot. So when you have the shape of your eyeliner set, I'm going to take my actual eyeliner. I like to use this one size one in the shade Point Made in the shade Bodacious Black, or this NYX one that is very thin. I'm gonna use the NYX one just to keep kind of like the trend of like more affordable products, except for the Huda Beauty powder and the MAC, but it's okay. And I just put it about halfway of where I want my eyeliner to be, and I flare it out with my brush. And you know, just keep going back and forth until you're happy with it. I'm actually being really smart right now by doing like each step on each eye because I usually forget to do that. So I'd be doing like the entire eye and then I go to the other one, and it's so hard to make them look similar. But I think that once you accept that your eyeliner is always going to be crooked, it's a lot easier to accept. Now, one thing I like to do, I like to take a little bit of highlighter and put it under your eyebrow. Just a little bit. It's just so the light catches ever so sublimely. And I'm going to take my brow glue first, and I'm just gonna, you know, just organize my eyebrows a tiny little bit. I use the NYX brow glue in the clear shade, but I also have used the brown shade before, and it's pretty good. I do not fill my eyebrows because they're already pretty dark, but when they have something that needs correcting, I just take a little bit of eyeshadow and I go over it, because my eyeshadow is dark enough, and I don't really like brow pencils, so that's why. And so last step for the eyes, I am just going to take a mascara of choice. I usually switch, when I'm not wearing eyeliner, I use a brown mascara. When I want a chunky look, I switch between the Monsieur Big from Lancome and this great lash thing I got from like TJ Maxx for like $5. This actually has a funny story. I was at Ulta and I wanted to do an art project where my mascara would be running down in a very dramatic manner, but I was kind of having a very hard time with that because all my mascaras are waterproof, just like by default. So I literally went up to the clerk, to the store, to, you know, like the person that worked there. And I was like, what is your worst mascara that you have at this here store? And she gave me this one. And it has like a very tiny tube, but it leaves a very chunky look, and I really like it. When I want it to be even chunkier, I just go in with the tip and I try clumping little clusters together just a little bit. I go in with my fingers if I want them grouped together even more. Not enough to be like those doll lashes, because I do not have the patience to do that, even though I think they look super cool. But you know, just enough so it's like a little. So okay, with that done, I like to just really quickly apply a little bit of highlighter just to the tip of my nose and a little bit here and here, just on these points where light catches. And finally, I just like to use a little bit of lip tint. I like to blend that out. And I like using a more salmon tone to match with my blush. So I take this very big lip pencil from NARS in the shade Take Me Home. And I like blending those two together and then just finishing it off with a gloss of your choice. Mine are all in my backpack, so I'm just gonna use this clear one that was gifted to me from Fenty, even though I think a lot of times it's a very big shine for me. So yeah, that's the look pretty much. I used to do this look for school every day, and now the only thing that changed is that I don't really do the eyeshadow, and I don't really do the eyeliner a lot of the time. But that's the only thing that changed. So yeah, let me give a little close-up. Just, you know, that's my simple makeup tutorial. Okay, bye! Mwah!